Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my new video where we are going to go over my top 5 tips that I think every single Twitch player needs to know. Now, my goal behind this video is to make you a better Twitch player as well as to give you a better understanding of the champion as a whole. Now, with this series, I am going to put a poll down below if you would like to vote for what champion you'd like to see next. I'm going to be going off that for my next video. And back to this video. If you would like to skip around at any point in this video, I'm going to put timestamps at the top. If you want to skip an intro or if you want to skip a certain tip because you already have a good understanding of that, that will be there for you. If you want to contact me directly with any questions, I'm going to pin my Discord down in the comments if you would have any questions for me there, as well as you can hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like to be notified when I go live here on YouTube, and you can ask me any questions there. Finally, if you would like to add your own tips, you've already played quite a bit of Twitch yourself, and you want to help out any lower elo players or newer players to Twitch that might come to this video, I heavily encourage you to put your own tips down below, as I'm a bit limited with this format. I love seeing those kind of comments where people are trying to help out others in the community as well. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the first tips. Alright, and before we get into the first tip, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a shout out to a person that is an insanely good Twitch player and actually encouraged me to play Twitch in the first place just by me watching his videos and how crazy he made the pick looking at his Riot IRL. I'm going to put a link to his channel in my pinned comments as well, because he can just make this look so smooth for this first tip, so make sure to check him out. The first and number one tip that you should really be doing when you are on Twitch is getting your Orbwalking to a place that is going to be extremely effective. If you do not know too much about Twitch, he is a very immobile champion. All he has is his stealth and the increased movement speed through that for his mobility, and he's able to peel himself a little bit with the slow that is provided from his Venom Cask. And if he goes Blade of the Rune King, those are his only kind of ways to help kite people out. So you need to get your Orbwalking at a very good point. You want to bind your player attack move or your player only attack move when you are playing Twitch, and it is going to really allow you to Orbwalk at a quicker pace. A lot of traditional newer players might be looking to kite out an Orbwalk like this, where they insert a movement command and then attack command. Movement attack when they are playing Twitch. And this is a very not the best way to go about it when you are playing Twitch, because if there are a couple different champions on top of each other, you might be misclicking. How you want to look to play this out is by binding the player attack and then using it to really Orbwalk at a lot quicker of a pace, and you are able to create more space between you and your enemy, as well as it's going to be a lot harder for people to hit you with skill shots when you are playing that. So when you are picking up Twitch, maybe you aren't an ADC player, maybe you're only playing in the top or the mid lane and you're not used to playing ADCs and Orbwalking regularly, this is going to be extremely important to get a good understanding of making sure that you have your player attack move bound, so you don't have to click on the enemy champion every single time that you want to attack them. So that's going to wrap up my first tip, and make sure to check out Rat IRL's channel. Alright, and getting into tip number 2, I want to talk about something that is extremely important, and that is his ambush and how to effectively use it. As when you are playing in low elo solo queue, it is so easy to abuse stealth champions because there is very minimal communication. So a couple of different things you can look to just get really used to the ambush when you are playing Twitch is the Q. When you press Q, you are going to have a circle around you. This is going to represent the how close an enemy has to get to you before they can see you. When they have these icons that differ by skin, this means that they can they're kind of close to seeing you. And when you get closer to the champion, when you're stealth, and it turns into that wide open eye, that means that they do see you. So just keep in mind that that's what these two icons mean when you are playing Twitch. Now, when you are looking to play Twitch, particularly in the early and mid game, and you are looking to outnumber the enemy, which is great to do if maybe you're ganking in your jungle Twitch, or you're doing a classic roam from the bot lane after a Blade of the Rune King, when you can start really dueling people, you want to make sure to get into a position, if you know that you are really able to 1v1 them in quite an easy and quick manner, go down the most commonly used escape route for the enemy when they get ganked. So in mid lane, in general they want to go around directly to their tower. They're going to just take the quickest route to the tower. So when you are playing Twitch, make sure that you are positioning yourself in a way that you are really able to cut off their escape routes and lead them a little bit with your W slow, and you are going to set yourself up for a lot of success. So make sure that you are really taking full advantage of your ambush when you are playing Twitch. Even if you are playing him in the bot lane, you really want to set up as many roams as possible where you are able to set up number disadvantages for your enemy. And that will wrap up tip number 2. Alright, and jumping into tip number 3, I want to cover a couple of different things you can look to take advantage of when you are playing Twitch and you are looking to use his Venom Cask. Now, how you want to look to play out your Venom Cask is when you are right about to ambush and unstealth on enemies, you want to make sure that you have the slow to cut off their escape route. Now, what a lot of people do is they try and lead the enemy as much as possible, and it really puts them in a sticky situation. But what happens here is they are very easily able to step out of your Venom Cask if you put it right on the edge of where they are looking to go. How you want to look to play it out, as you see that there are 3 different sections here within this circle, one right here, one right here, and one right here, and you want to lead the target. The enemy is most likely going to be heading back to this turret if he sees him, he's in a 2v1 situation, and you want to pretty much put him right in the center of this section. What this is going to do is, even if he wants to take a really short route out, or a short route out that way, he is going to get hit by a couple of the ticks, and then hopefully he will just be taking the long way through, where he is going to get the most amount of the deadly venom stacks applied to him. But make sure that you are leading the target, but not too much. You want to put him kind of in the center right there of that quadrant, and this will just give you a maximum amount of uptime on the slow, allowing the laner to follow up with you, as well as giving you the maximum amount of the passive stacks applied to the enemy when you are using your W. Now, when you are looking to pop out of ambush here with your stealth, you want to take full advantage of the downtime before and right when you pop out of stealth by autoing and then W auto. Don't be one of those Twitches that come right out of stealth and just throw the W right there. You want to go auto into ability into auto. This is just going to be a more effective way to play out the ambushes when you are playing Twitch. And that will wrap up this tip. Alright, and jumping into tip number 4, I want to talk a little bit about Twitch's Contaminate. I want you guys to notice the insane amount of range that is displayed when you hover over this. So this is going to be larger than your attack range that is displayed with the smaller circle there, or even your attack range that is with the spray and pray. So what you are going to look to do with the Contaminate is you can use it at the end of your trade with the enemy, as it has an 8-second cooldown. This is generally the window of how long skirmishes are going to last, so you are very rarely going to get a second Contaminate off unless you are in maybe a later game team fight with a bunch of hyper carry tanks that are going to be very tanky and going to allow for a very extended type of trade. So making sure that you are getting your full stacks up on the enemy, and then you can save your Contaminate for as they're trying to run away and you start getting out of auto attack range, or if you just are looking to kill them as quickly as possible. Next up, when you are playing Twitch and you do have a maximum amount of stacks on the enemy, you do not have to be in vision of the enemy to contaminate them. As you can see, it keeps going and it is showing you the range of the Contaminate by this big blue circle of how far away you can hit someone that has a passive stack on them. So those are my tips for Twitch's E-Contaminate. Alright, and getting into the final tip, I want to talk a little bit about Twitch's ultimate and how it is extremely strong. Something extremely small about it. First off, before we get into the couple of other things, you can proc it when you are in your stealth, and it will not uncamouflage you, which is pretty big if you're someone that maybe is playing on a little bit of lag and you want to make sure that you have it up for every single auto attack, and you don't want to wait until you come out of your ambush attack before you proc it. So always have that up if you are one of those people. Next up, with your ultimate, how you can look to effectively use it is you do not have to have access to the backline champion to hit them with your ultimate. They are going to take less damage, but you are going to be able to be in a safer spot if you are able to hit a target that is in front of the enemy. As you can see, they are taking more damage, or they are taking quite a bit of damage even if they are in the back. You just need to make sure that they are in the auto attack range. You can extend this on enemy champions or by using minions. If there is a bunch of minions around, or maybe a jungle camp that is around the team fight, you can use that to extend your range effectively to the targets behind that. Next up, when you are using spray and pray, there are going to be a lot of situations where they might flash out into areas in which you cannot see them. So sometimes I think that Farsight Alteration can be a decent pickup if you are taking a lot of skirmishes in the jungle and people are flashing out of the way. You can use this Farsight Alteration to effectively be able to see them if they try and flash away, or just carrying around a couple of control words can be quite effective in giving you sight of the enemy with this extremely long auto attack range that is procced when you do spray and pray. And just making sure that you understand that this is Twitch's maximum damage window when you have this procced and right when you are coming out of ambush. So making sure that you take full advantage of this window of power when you are playing Twitch is going to really come down and really separate yourself in team fights and be able to give you the most amount of carry potential. So make sure that you are using this cooldown wisely when you are in the late game team fights. And that will wrap up all my tips that I have for Twitch. If you have any questions for me, you can hit me up in the comments down below, or you can check out the Discord. As always, guys, take it easy.